Pac-Man Jones of Savannah Seaport News here, and before I start off all the rest of my news, I got to give a very special shout out to my very own god sis, Jessica Aikens. She is currently a second-year doctor of pharmacy candidate at Mercer University College of Pharmacy in Atlanta. She received her Bachelor of Science degree in biology at her alma mater, the University of Georgia, where she held leadership roles in the Pre-Pharmacy Society. In conjunction with her studies, she interns at Walmart Pharmacy and volunteers at the Emory University Hospital. That's in Atlanta, if you don't know. Has a passion for working with disadvantaged and aspires to become a clinical pharmacist. Now, she is originally from Savannah. I got to give a shout out to her, man. Funny thing is, me and her share the same birthday. I'm just a year older than her, so congratulations to her. I hope she really continues with her studies, and not only that, but hopefully she gets into, well, she already is in the field, the healthcare field, but hopefully, she could explore that field more. Now, Tim Quarterman, he came back to Savannah. He came back and he actually hosted a week-long camp back at Johnson High School, Johnson High School, the school that he actually went to, where he graduated from, Johnson High School. I did a video about that. I believe that's like on the edge of pretty much Thunderbolt. It's really East Savannah. But anyways, Tim Quarterman and a group of old friends were on hand to help him run the camp, including former teammate Greg Mortimer, who went to play for South Carolina State, and James Sinclair, a Savannah High grad who starred at Western Carolina, is now playing professionally in Switzerland. Now, that whole camp was really mainly for the youth kids. It just was a week-long camp that just really focused on basketball drills like passing, shooting, dribbling, rebounding skills. So that was a good step for him to come back and help out people, or help out the youth in Savannah, and just to show them, just to give them a little camp right before school starts, because school starts, I believe, on the 7th, on the 3rd, and I believe some kids go back on the 7th, but school starts back on the 3rd. Savannah Chatham Public Schools always go back on Thursdays for some odd reason. But funny thing is about the whole Tim Quarterman thing, on Saturday, actually had a family dinner. Not necessarily my family, but I met up with somebody's family, and I didn't notice at the time, but when I was there, Tim Quarterman's mom was like sitting like literally 2 seats away from me, and I didn't know anything about this, and this was just like a small little family get together that they was having for, I believe, the grandpa. But anyways, I didn't notice at the time until I left, and then my girl, she said, "Oh yeah, that was Tim Quarterman's mom that we were talking to, right?" And I was like, "What?" So quite possibly I could get back in contact with her and probably can do it. Maybe like just a small interview, maybe just like ask her questions just about Tim Quarterman, because it's nice to get the point of view from the mother's side. So, good job to Tim Quarterman. And since we're on the topic of the youth, the state of Georgia placed the Savannah Classical Academy on probation for poor academic and organizational performance. Now, Savannah Classical Academy is on East Anderson, and it really borders East Anderson and Atlantic Avenue, if I believe. That school, like I said, it's on the east side, and that school really is a charter school. It's a free charter school, actually, and it really specialized from K through 6th grade. Now, it has been stated for 3 years running, the charter school has not met or exceeded state or local averages on Georgia's accountability system called the College and Career Ready Performance Index. Classical Academy 2016 CCRPI score is 51.8 for elementary grades and 59.9 for middle grades. The highest possible score is 100. Savannah's Classical Academy's overall performance is higher than just 10% of the schools in the state and lower than the overall performance of the Savannah Chatham Public School System. The governor has given Classical Academy an F rating every year since it opened, since 2013. And its 2016-2017 state test scores didn't improve over the previous 2 years. And in 2017, the percentage of fifth graders scoring proficient or higher in the state test was 14.3% in English, 2.3% in math, 7% in science, and 0% in social studies. Additionally, the Georgia Department of Education reports that Classical Academy violates state, federal, and local laws by failing to provide disabled student services, failing to comply with teacher evaluation requirements, not implementing a written due process discipline policy for students, and by failing to respond to state requests for information in a timely fashion. The state ordered Classical Academy officials to submit an acceptable corrective action plan by August the 18th and successfully implement it by October the 2nd. The school's charter would be terminated if the school failed to comply. The charter enables Classical Academy to receive operating funds from the Savannah Chatham Public School System. The school will remain on probation until the Department of Education and Savannah Chatham officials determine that the problem has been resolved. Savannah Classical Academy may not enroll new students, including those on a wait list, while on probation without the department consent. So it looks like the problem is, the kids in the school aren't scoring high enough on their tests, the test that matters the most. And part of the problem, what they're saying is that the teachers aren't really giving them enough, which I feel like it's hard to blame it on teachers, because for one, I know for a fact that teachers are working on limited resources. There's some teachers that got to provide their own paper in schools, and it's kind of hard for teachers. I don't really want to blame it on teachers, because for one, teachers are already underpaid as it is. And also, the main issue really is just the kids not scoring higher enough on math and in science and in social studies and in English as well. Now, you got to understand that the charter schools in Savannah don't follow the Savannah Chatham County Public School System board. They have their own system that they have to follow. So if they can't improve the school, how it's going as far as the learning curriculum, they will suspend the charter system. Now, the thing about this is that Savannah Chatham Public Schools is helping them in funding, to keep them up until the probation is over. So I never heard of, Savannah Chatham Public Schools actually helping the charter school system, because most charter school systems are, successful, because you have to pay the charter school. Every other charter school, they have, payment plans. So you have to pay to get your child enrolled. But, this is a free charter school. Like I said, it's on the east side. It borders East Anderson and Atlantic Avenue. And I believe the only money that they're getting is from donations, and any other help is like volunteer work. So, like I said, if they can't improve the school as far as the learning curriculum, they will shut it down as far as the charter school system. Now, will they reopen it as a Savannah Chatham public school just for elementary and middle schools? I'm not so sure. But hopefully this situation turns around.